The summer sun beat down on Geneva, Wisconsin. A verdant field, usually tranquil, transformed into a stage for horror. Two abandoned suitcases lay amidst the tall grass. Their smell attracted a passing worker. He approached cautiously, heart pounding. Unzipping the first suitcase unveiled a nightmare. Inside, a human body, twisted and contorted. The worker recoiled, stomach churning. Fumbling for his phone, he dialed 911. The police arrived, sirens wailing. The scene, horrific and perplexing. The suitcases, now grim evidence markers, held the key to a twisted tale. The investigation began, a race against time to unravel the mystery. The small town of Geneva, forever scarred, became the epicenter of a macabre puzzle. Laura Simonson, a 37-year-old mother of 7, battled inner demons. She sought solace in online connections, yearning for escape. Life had dealt her a difficult hand, leaving her vulnerable. She stumbled upon a website, a digital playground for adults. There, she met him. He was charming, attentive, everything she craved. Jenny Games, a vibrant 19-year-old, full of dreams. She too sought companionship online. The internet offered anonymity and connection. She created an alias, Jane Doe, to protect her identity. He found her, drawn to her youthful energy. He showered her with compliments, preying on her need for validation. He lured them with promises of excitement and pleasure. He manipulated their vulnerabilities, exploiting their desire for affection. He arranged to meet them separately, his sinister plan taking shape. They, blinded by his charm, walked willingly into his web of deceit. The last known image of Laura captured her entering a motel room with him. Jenny too vanished after agreeing to meet him. Their families, consumed with worry, reported them missing. Little did they know their loved ones had crossed paths with a predator hiding in plain sight. His name was Stephen Zelich. A former police officer, he projected an aura of authority. Beneath the surface, a darkness churned. He used his knowledge of law enforcement to avoid detection, believing himself above the law. He prowled the internet, hunting for vulnerable women. He was a master manipulator, skilled at gaining trust. Zelich found his prey on a website catering to those seeking unconventional relationships. He engaged in sexually explicit chats, pushing boundaries. He introduced breath play, a dangerous fetish involving oxygen deprivation for heightened pleasure. He convinced his victims it was safe, a consensual act. Laura and Jenny, enticed by his promises, agreed to meet him in person. They believed they were entering a world of excitement and pleasure. They had no idea they were stepping into a carefully crafted trap, orchestrated by a predator masquerading as a lover. Their encounters turned fatal. Whether through intentional violence or reckless disregard, Zelich suffocated them during their breath play sessions. He panicked, his dark fantasy culminating in a horrifying reality. He stuffed their bodies into suitcases, desperate to hide his crimes. The investigation led police to Zelich. His online activity, a trail of digital breadcrumbs, exposed his dark secret. He had communicated with both victims, arranging the fatal encounters. His attempts to cover his tracks were futile. The evidence, both physical and digital, pointed directly to him. Zelich, arrested and charged with 2 counts of homicide, maintained his innocence. He claimed the deaths were accidental, a tragic result of consensual acts. The prosecution argued otherwise, presenting evidence of his manipulative behavior and attempts to conceal the bodies. The jury reached a guilty verdict. Zelich, the former officer sworn to uphold the law, was now a convicted killer. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. For the families of Laura Simonson and Jenny Games, justice was bittersweet. Their grief was palpable, their lives forever altered by the tragic loss. The case of Stephen Zelich serves as a chilling reminder of the dark side of the internet. It exposed the vulnerability of those seeking connection online. It highlighted the ease with which predators can exploit anonymity. It left a community shaken, grappling with the realization that monsters can hide in plain sight.